Mm, a fresh cup of divinity. And this transmission for today is that the universe requires a strong signature of clarity. So you must take the first step in order for the universe to conspire with you. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about being an energetic match to the things that you're calling into your space. This is something I've had to really dive deep into, whether it's my personal life, whether it's my spiritual path, or it's my business ventures and growth. I've had to learn that first and foremost, that when it comes to the universe, if I'm saying that I desire something, if I'm calling something into my space, if I desire to be a magnet for whatever the thing is, first and foremost, I get to understand that the universe is like, you're saying you want this. So I need you to meet me here. So let me know with clarity here. The universe is like social media with the algorithm. The algorithm says, you're saying you want this, you want to go viral. Well, tell me the hashtags, give me the clarity. First, become an energetic match to it. I'm just not going to give it to you, the universe says. What does it mean to be an energetic match? For example, in my case, in many people's cases, it comes down to love and relationships. When it comes to being an energetic match for love and relationships, something I did was I actually sat down and made a list of all of the qualities I desired in a partner. I was like, this is a life partner. These are the qualities I desire in them. And I got to have a really, really deep look inside of myself to also take a moment and pause to make sure I wasn't writing down anything that's like a physical quality. I really sought out personal qualities, their personality, their authenticity, and things like that. And as I began to write this list out, the next thing I did was, next to it, write down how I match up to that on a scale of 1 to 10. It's very easy for us as human beings to be like, you know what, I'm a 10 for this, I'm a 10 for that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And yet when I decided to be real with myself, I realized that for a lot of them, I was like, at the time I would have said I was like an 8. But there's something one of my mentors taught me. When we say that we're an 8 out of 10, in reality, 8 doesn't really exist. 8 is an excuse for a 7 or a 9. So for me, if I'm not a 7 or a 9, then I don't get to say I'm an 8. So I got to decide and choose. And for a lot of them, I was actually a 7. I was like, I'm giving myself 8 because I want to make myself feel better. Because 8 is like almost 9, which is close to 10, but not quite there. But when I was humble, when I was very authentic and honest with myself and put down 7, I got to actually think of, okay, what would actually get the needle moving? When it comes to love and relationships, being an energetic match and not just, changing your environment, it's all up here in your mind first. Being an energetic match is thinking in the way you would if you were in a relationship. So for me, when I started to think of where I lived and my home and things like that, I thought, what would I do with a partner right now? Well, first thing I would do when I wake up in the morning is I would brush my teeth. So I thought to myself, I will get an extra toothbrush. I will get an extra thing of shampoo. I will get an extra towel, an extra cloth. Mentally, I was preparing myself for my life partner, my wife that I have now. Physically, I was doing the same thing. That is becoming the energetic match. When the physical and the mental and the emotional all come together, it creates this energy to where the spirit is like, yes. And it went beyond that. That was just the rising. And I invite you, if this is landing for you, definitely think about this. How are you making your environment a space for you to actually call in this energetic match? Because the universe requires a signature of clarity before it will conspire with you. The next thing was thinking about, okay, what am I going to be doing during the day? I started looking at the books that I had. I started organizing my bookshelf. I'm like, if I had a partner, I would love for my partner to be able to look at the bookshelf and want to read some of the same books that I have. I arranged the table where I eat differently. I actually bought another placemat. I actually started setting out another plate. I bought new silverware so that silverware was matching because I would love to have matching things with my partner. I even got a new blanket, new pillow, new sheets, and everything. And I set it on the other side. I was like, in the event that my partner would love to have their own blanket, they have their own blanket, they have their own pillow, and so on and so forth. This was me becoming an energetic match to me telling the universe, I'm calling in my life partner. Like now, I'm not waiting anymore. I don't need to wait. And it's not even just calling it in. I'm magnetizing, I'm attracting my life partner. So many people talk about the law of attraction, the law of manifestation, and all these things like that. And deep down inside, and my wife brought this up before, is it's all about feeling it. And for those of you that watch the movie Tenet, it's about instinct, instinctually, what's programmed into me. I know what I desire. And the universe asks you to align your instinct and your intuition to such a degree that no matter which way you turn, they're in so alignment, not balancing. I'm not balancing. I'm in such alignment that no matter which way I go, my instinct and my intuition are always flowing together. Syntropy. When it comes to outside of my personal life, when it comes to things like business and money and things like that, it's all about actually being an energetic match as well. A lot of you are creators. A lot of you are coaches. A lot of you are entrepreneurs or solopreneurs. So in your life, you're like, well, how do I become an energetic match for, say, $100,000, six figures? In order to be an energetic match for six figures, you have to actually start asking yourself, not just what would you do if you had six figures? What would it feel like if you had six figures? What would you do with the six figures? And you get to know this at the highest frequency. I feel that a lot of people don't actually know what they want or desire at the highest frequency. People want the six figures, but when you ask them, what would you do with the six figures? There's answers like, I would, buy things. I'd buy a new car. And then I say, well, what would you do with the car? I'd drive around places. I said, but where would you drive to? In 10 years from now, are you going to be happy with the car? People are like, I'd travel the world. And I'm like, okay, there we go. And in traveling the world, where would you love to go to? Then they start naming the places they want to go to. It's like, why do you want to go there? I've always wanted to go to Bali so I could find myself. And then it's like, okay, you want six figures so you can go find yourself in Bali. Will Bali give you the thing that you need or whatever the thing is that they desire? I was that person. I traveled to over 100 countries to try to find myself. I was trying to become an energetic match. In reality, I was becoming no match to nothing. I was looking for myself. I was looking for purpose. When I was able to become an energetic match to my purpose, that's what then allowed me to become an energetic match to my career, which then allowed me to become an energetic match to the money that I was calling in. Sometimes there's an order of things. Know your purpose. Solve your life problems first. Document the solutions. Curate content. And then share to raise the collective consciousness. In doing so, I became an energetic match to a community. For me and my business, being an energetic match meant, again, making a list of all the things I really, really desired at the highest frequency and actually writing why I desired them. I desire and call in money so that I can buy a house. I'm calling in so that I can buy a house so my family has an amazing place to live, so that we have a forever home, so that we can have an abundance of bookshelves and books and things like that. I'm calling it in because I know that I would love for our children to also have something when this physical body is no longer here on this planet. I was calling in travel. My wife and I are calling in an airplane. Why do we want an airplane? We would love an airplane so we can just go wherever we want to go. For some people, they're like, oh, that's too much. Why do you need an airplane? I'm like, I don't mind first class. And I would also love to just go somewhere whenever we want to go somewhere. This then rolls into the spiritual life. What is it that we're becoming energetic matches for in our spiritual journey? What do I get to feel? What is my instinct? What is my intuition? And spiritually, I simply desire to be closer to God, source, universe, creator, whatever you may call it. And in order to be an energetic match from that, I got to have another conversation with myself outside of just making the list. I remember being with one of my mentors when I was in Japan. And I told my mentor that I felt at the time that God source creator was so far away from me because of my military past and the things I did as a warfighter. I felt so much shame and guilt of going to war and having to use weapons and all these things like that. And my mentor said, you believe that God is so far away from you. What if the question is, how far away are you from God? And I was like, wow. And I realized that I had been pushing God, source, universe away from me, which means that in many instances, a lot of us are actually pushing the manifestations away from ourselves. Don't ask yourself how far away the six figures is, how far away enlightenment is, how far away your significant other is. The real question is, how far away are you from it? You will know how far away you are from it because you will have the conversation with yourself to where you ask yourself, am I an energetic match for this person, this lifestyle, this enlightenment? And if you say, yes, I am an energetic match for it, know that the moment you do that, you have signed your signature with the universe that is going to conspire with you. And then the universe will say, well, I hear you. And I also need you to show me what you are going to do in order to achieve this. You get to not just feel it. I would love to hear you say it out loud. I would love to see you write it. I would love to see you share it with someone or something, even if it's yourself. Being the energetic match, aligning with that frequency, it's powerful. You become a catalyst. And in some cases, some of you, some of us become satellites for enlightenment and change. One of the most powerful things I heard was from Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake expressed this concept, which I applied to being an energetic match, to how to cultivate your community. And what I took from this message was that we all get to imagine ourselves on a stage that's 4 feet high. We're on this stage, we're talking, we're sharing, we're allowing ourselves to be a channel for the divine. And it's very easy to be on that stage and expect everyone else to come to where you are. But the truth is, sometimes being an energetic match means meeting other people where they are. So if this stage is 4 feet high and you allow yourself to come down 2 feet, and then you allow yourself to just share the wisdom and the knowledge and the value you have to where people feel like they're being elevated and magnetized towards you, that is an energetic match. Maybe, and I'm not saying you have to change your standards, you don't have to change your list. Maybe if we stepped off our pedestals and high horses and we allowed ourselves to meet our partner where they are, where we really know we get to be. Again, this doesn't mean you have to ignore all the red flags and the behaviors. It just means stepping off of the pedestal for a second, stepping away from the 3D, stepping away from the 5D, the 10D, step away from all of these things. Step away to the point of allowing yourself to be everything and nothing at the same time. And in that nothingness, allow yourself to just attract that person that is also allowing themselves to be everything and nothing at the same time. And when you both do that, when you both allow yourselves to move down 2 feet or come up 2 feet or move in 2 feet closer to each other, you will find each other. You will find those clients. That money will come to you. Those experiences will change your life. For me, this is what it means to be an energetic match. This is what it means to work in unison, to co-create with the universe. It is not just the law of attraction. It is not just the law of manifestation. It is the law of you. The law of you means in your most authentic self, you get to be everything and nothing and attract everything and nothing while also enjoying everything and nothing. Because in the grand scheme of it all, we came into this world with nothing and we will leave with nothing. And while we were here, why we are here is up to us. You get to decide why you're here and you get to enjoy the human experience. Don't bypass the human experience. No one gets to bypass the human experience. We all get to experience it because that is what our souls and spirits desire. Our soul is seeking its identity. Our spirit knows what we're going to manifest. Our spirit is sending us transmissions. Our ears are ringing. We're receiving downloads. People are coming into our lives that are energetic matches. Our spirit knows. Our soul is trying to identify. You know, our human experience, the ego is like, I, me, this way, that way. Don't ignore them. Embrace them. Embracing the ego, embracing the I, the me is what allows us to also become an energetic match, because the ego is one of the most humblest teachers you will ever have, because the ego can only use against you the things that you are not willing to look at. So when you make your list, be willing to read the list for your life partner, for your twin flame, for your 6 figures, for your business, for your enlightenment. Be willing to read the list out loud and let your ego, let the inner chatter, let the inner critic speak. I listen to the inner critic because I would love to hear what the inner critic says about my manifestations. And when the inner critic says, you cannot do this, I then ask, why do you believe that I cannot do this? And I will answer those questions because you are a 7 out of 10. And maybe that is hurtful. And I will be like, you know what? Maybe I am a 7 out of 10. What gets the needle moving? What would get me to be a 9 out of 10? and then a 10 out of 10. Because I am so in this. I have signed my signature. I have clarity. I know what I desire. I know what I want. I'm not going to work hard for it. I'm going to attract it. I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to believe in it. I'm going to feel what it feels like to be in that life already. I'm not going to lie to myself. I can already feel it. I'm not going to lie to myself. I can already feel it. And before we close this episode out, I invite you to just feel that lifestyle that you're calling in, to close your eyes and to just naturally breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just feel what that lifestyle feels like. What does it feel like to be with that person, to have that family? What does it feel like to spend that money, to have the things you have, to walk through that home? What does it feel like to have those friends, to see those countries, to experience those foods and cultures? What does it feel like to transcend everything you've ever believed in, to be enlightened, to awaken over and over and over, to be reborn even in this moment? What does that feel like to be reborn? Because if you ask me, it feels great. And yes, in these processes, while our eyes are still closed and we're feeling these things, we have the inner critic. And we can welcome that inner critic and be like, well, if I am not a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, and I am a 5 out of 10, that's okay. Because I know I am capable of evolution. I know I am capable of manifesting whatever it is that I desire in life, because the universe is conspiring with me. I have signed my signature, or I will sign my signature, or I will do it again and again and again and keep signing, knowing that this is my path. This is the path I choose. And for all you Star Wars fans, be one with the Force because the Force is one with you. Or be one with the universe because the universe is one with you. Understand that everything that is happening, whether you like it or not, can be beneficial because of the lessons. Those lessons that become blessings, those blessings that become more than life itself. Thank you so much. My name is Kadara. I am the seeker, and I look forward to just manifesting with you all. Because this is the collective consciousness. We are here together. Nobody has to do this alone. Let's get it. Let's go.